In this video, I'm going to work through a few examples of what I would consider a bad visual, show you what a little bit better visual is, and then of this scenario, what the best visual might look like. This first one I have pulled up is a bad visual. So we're looking at our incidence counts by category and our problems counts by category. A couple problems is that we have a whole array of colors here on both of our charts, and neither of them mean anything for either chart. I'm trying to tell two stories here. So I'm telling the problem story and the incident story. The heights of the bars also don't mean much because it looks like I have as many inquiry and help incidents created as I do network problems. However, you got to look closely. In this case, I got a 50 as a top value and 2000 as a top value here. I also don't know when these were collected. So let's maybe look at a little bit better visual than this one. Here, I distinctly try to make the incident by category story, one story here on the left, and problems by category story here on the right. I do that by switching the axes of the way we're looking at it so that at least the scales don't seem like they are trying to be equal to each other. I got 2,200 on the vertical scale, and I got 50 on the horizontal scale. So each is independent of each other to make sense. I also started to put in the data labels so I know exactly the value of the bars of each graph. I did change the colors again so that I know there's two stories to be told. And then I also provided the dates that this was collected, open between January 1st of this year and this end of the second quarter, which is June 30th. One thing I don't know, though, this is only broken out by categories, so I don't know when did these come in during that time frame. Are they all looking at 1 week, 1 month? I don't have that context. I also don't know, is 2,200 good or is it bad? Did we expect more or expect less? So let's take one more look at a different visual. In this case, we tell one story. I pulled out the problems and we're only looking at incidents so we can tell a single story. We know that we are looking at category and month breakdowns of incidents in 2024. So I have the same chart that I had before, which shows me the full year so far's breakdown by category. But then I have some more context. I have the table here broken out by month and by category so I can see what we have and how we're progressing each month. I can see I have a couple colors here that are highlighted, which means something. Now, the nice thing here is I know what it means because I got context. I know that database and software were the only two categories who didn't decrease every single month. So they actually increased in March. And because of that, March actually had a slight increase overall, which isn't what we wanted. If I go up here, I do know if we have good or bad results. So I see that our objective for the 2024 was to decrease the number of open incidents by 45%. And guess what? We're down to 260 total incidents in June, which is a 90.7 decrease. A lot of context here, but it's very clear the story I'm trying to tell, and I give enough detail that I can actually make meaningful conclusions. Again, we went from bad to better to best. I'd love your thoughts and just some feedback on what you think makes a good visual.